A game that will allow our players to have unique and memorable adventures together. A shared world adventure game. Set in a fantastical world, this game will bring players together and give them the freedom to play with limitless possibilities. This is by far the most ambitious game Rare has ever created.
You serious?
Hey, what's up everybody? This is Alex Molina 93 here. Today is gonna be about my rant on modern Rareware, as they're called now Rare or Rare Ltd. However you want to call them. Anyway, this is something that I wanted to do years ago, and since I started to make YouTube videos, why not making a rant about this certain British company that I grew up with in my childhood, since they were responsible making great games since they were partnered with Nintendo, such as Donkey Kong Country series, Killer Instinct, Perfect Dark, GoldenEye, Diddy Kong Racing, Banjo-Kazooie, Blast Corps, Jet Force Gemini, Conker's Bad Fur Day, and they also made Star Fox Adventures, which was their last game on a Nintendo home console. Not many people liked it, but I did enjoy it for what it is. Not great, but it is okay. So yeah, like those games were like golden, they're masterpieces, and nobody can deny that those games were that great. Like they're creative and innovative at the same time. It's like magic. Nintendo and Rare were such an amazing team back then. Yeah, I mean, it's like one of the best developers of all time, and they were geniuses. But since in 2002 they were bought out by Microsoft for $377 million, I believe, and this is where the downfall started. Like they no longer know how to make great games, starting with Grabbed by the Goalies, which was a mediocre game which I was never interested in the first place, and the other games that they made on the Xbox consoles, like no, they're not that good. And with the game that they released last month on March, Sea of Thieves, this is something that really makes me mad about, that really pisses me off, is how Rare themselves said that this is the most ambitious game they have ever created, and yet most of the players who played that game, they said that they didn't like it for what it offered. Like, here's the thing, you're charging this game $60. Okay, like every new game has to be $60 nowadays, depending how big of a game is. Okay, you're treating this game like it is a AAA exclusive, Microsoft exclusive, should I say. Like, this is something that you'll have fun with during those years, and this doesn't seem like the most ambitious game that you have ever created, Rare. I mean, it's like, at first I was curious how this game is gonna be like when it launches. Like, okay, you're a pirate in massive multiplayer online game, I mean, you collect treasures, you fight those skeletons, and you're fighting against the other pirate ships. Like, okay, and the graphics look good. I'm not gonna lie about it, and the soundtrack, it seems okay from what I've heard. But here's the thing, like, what is the purpose on this game? Like, what is the goal? And what is worth $60 to get this game? Like, okay, you collect treasure, you fight against the other players, the skeletons, and you swim and you fight against the other ships, but what is the purpose of beating this game? Like I don't see no story, I don't see no leveling system, I don't see upgrades, I don't see like bosses, enemy variety of enemies, sorry. Like, where is all of that in this game? Like, there is no appeal. Like, there's no purpose whatsoever. You're just doing everything as a pirate, but you have any of those things. Like, those are the complaints that the people had with this game. Like, Sea of Thieves has no content. And why you're charging $60 for it? Like, why you're charging $60 for a game with no content? And from what I heard, that it had broken servers day one, and most people couldn't get into it. But it is $60. Like, wow. Like, wow. Wow, Rare. It's like you haven't learned anything from it, from your past mistakes. Since 2002, you still don't know how to make great games, and still you claim that this is your ambitious game that you have ever created. That is a lie, people. Like, think of it. Which was the last great game that Rare made? Oh yeah, that's right, and that is Conker's Bad Fur Day. And that was 17 years ago. 17 years ago, with no experience of making great games anymore. Like, wow, Rare. I mean, I haven't played the game, but I've seen people playing it on live streams and gameplay videos, and I'm kind of curious how fun this game is gonna be like. If at least it's gonna be fun. I wasn't that hyped when it was announced, and their showings, like, they were very underwhelming to me. Like, what is the purpose? Like, where's the fun? But none of that exists in Sea of Thieves. I mean, it's like Rare has everything, but they're missing one important thing that it is to a video game. And that is the gameplay. Okay, like, they have graphics, they have the music, and some of the games that they make, you can play online, multiplayer online. But in this game, you're supposed to have fun with the friends, since most people recommend to play this game with friends. But in single player mode, like, it is not worth it anymore. And I'm gonna buy this game? No, I'm not gonna buy it. With the lack of content and broken servers, I'm not gonna support this game at all. If anybody is gonna bring up the excuses like, "Whoa, but don't worry, we're gonna get more updates coming soon to this game," like, why you should be excited for that? Isn't a video game supposed to be ready day one with all the content to satisfy all the players and to have a great time? You're not gonna get that experience with Sea of Thieves. And don't let the Xbox fanboys fool you that this is the best new IP that Microsoft came up with. Like, no, you cannot say that it is worth 60 bucks. Like, this game should have been like 30 bucks at the very least, or lesser than that. But hey, that's just my opinion. I'm not saying that you cannot like Sea of Thieves, but you cannot say that this is worth 60 bucks, that it is not. You cannot say that it is a great game. No, people, no. It's like Rare hasn't learned nothing from the past mistakes since they were bought out. I mean, 17 years ago, and they still have no experience of making great games, as you can see with Perfect Dark Zero and especially Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. I mean, why bringing the unnecessary changes to the games that will not make your fans happy? Like, this is not good, people. And from what I've heard, that Sea of Thieves is the fast-selling new IP from Microsoft. Like, why you should support a game like this? Like, haven't you heard of voting your wallets, people? Just saying. Like, you should not buy this game 60 bucks. Do not let Rare make this piss poor choices to you guys, because more games that they're gonna sell like that, a lot more mediocre games we're gonna get. Sea of Thieves is not worth getting it. I'm not gonna buy it. I have zero interest since I'm not the biggest fan of massive online multiplayers. No, massive multiplayer onlines, MMOs, however you want to call them. But I'm not into them. And no, I'm not interested in Final Fantasy XIV either. Like, wow, Rare. It's like you haven't learned anything. Like, ignoring your fans of what they want. And instead of listening to your fans and bringing those great games that we wanted from you, like, why are you so delusional nowadays, Rare? Like, I mean, bringing those watered down ports and remakes, those games that we didn't like, and those shovelware Kinect games that you were making years ago. You were doing nothing but disappointing and pissing off your fan base. The real Rare fans that grew up with you on the 90s and early 2000s. Yeah, it is so sad how Rare is nowadays. Like, it makes me ashamed to be a Rare fan. I'm not a fan of the modern Rare. I'm a fan of the classic Rare. You can be a fan, but you cannot be a fan of the modern Rare and how they are right now. More games you're gonna bring like this, Rare, more people you're gonna lose. They're getting their refunds of this game because they have nothing else to do with this game. If you don't bring up the updates or the new DLC into this game. More mediocre games you're gonna bring, more fans you're gonna lose. Because the new people at Rare have no idea what they're doing right now. It is so sad. It is so sad, people. I don't think their next game is gonna be that good either. Like, Rare is dead. It hurts me to say this, but Rare is dead. Like, we're never gonna see Banjo-Kazooie again. We're never gonna see Perfect Dark again. We're never gonna see Battletoads again. And we haven't got a new Conquer game ever since. I'm talking about a real sequel that Chris Ever and the original team were working on. Not these Project Spark DLC, and definitely not this bullshit excuse of a young Conquer. Like, no. He looks very ugly, by the way. I'll never forgive Microsoft for what they did to Rare. Supposedly they gave them freedom, but what is the freedom that they gave? Letting them do those piss poor choices, like canceling the projects that we wanted. As you can see, some of the canceled projects that they have shown on Rare Replay, you see that some of those games, they look very interesting and they never saw the light. Like, yeah, Rare is fucked. Rare is never gonna come back. Only time will tell if they're gonna come back to their former glory. I don't think that's ever gonna happen. Since the original team left Rare to work on the other companies such as Playtonic Games with Yooka-Laylee, which I find it as a decent game. Not many people liked it, but I could say that this is better than Nuts and Bolts. Free Radical Design, founded by the GoldenEye team and Perfect Dark team, by making Time Splitters games, which I've heard that they're pretty good. I want to try them out someday. Chris and Team Stamper founded Fortune Fish, I believe, which is a mobile company. I think that they're gonna do fine without Rare. And of course, the very good composers like David Wise and Grant Kirkhope left Rare because they could not stand on how Rare is in this present. So, my advice to Microsoft and Rare, you should hand those IPs to the other companies, or you should sell them if you're not gonna do anything with them, since I've heard that Rare are not interested of coming back to the classic IPs. Like, why you still have them anyway? They're just gonna sit there collecting dust. Like, it makes no sense at all. You should do the same like you did with Killer Instinct. Since Double Helix Games and Iron Galaxy Studios, they made a good job with Killer Instinct, since that is the only Rare franchise you haven't fucked it up. You should do the same with Banjo, Perfect Dark, and Conquer. You should hire a company with Chris Seaver making Conquer Sour Bad Day. Hand it to the other studio to make Banjo 3. Hand it to the other company to make a great Perfect Dark game. A new Battletoads. A new Jet Force Gemini. A new Blast Corps. Or one of those classic IPs that you haven't used throughout the years. Maybe someday they'll come back. But as of right now, Rare is trash right now. That's all I gotta say. Rest in peace, Rare. I always loved you, and hopefully you come back someday, which I don't think you will. Since many people wanted Nintendo to buy back Rare, but it is not gonna be the same people. I'm so sorry. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Feel free to subscribe to my channel for more videos to come for you guys to enjoy. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up in the like button below, and comment in the section below on what you think about Sea of Thieves and Modern Rareware in the present. It is your choice. So, thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day. Peace. Just like that.